something one of our subscribers on Twitter asked earlier. Who do you rate as the best middleweight and super middleweight in the world, apart from yourself?
I mean, how can I answer that question? That doesn't make sense. I'm the best.
So who's the second best then?
I don't worry about second best. Who cares about second best? We're worrying about who the best fighter is in this tournament. That's all everyone wants to know. Who's the best super middleweight? And I'm going to prove it's me.
Okay, how about this one? Give me 3 qualities about George Groves, 3 things you think he's good at.
You know, you can't say George Groves isn't good. He's a world champion. I'm sure there's probably many things he's good at. In your eyes, you know, you guys, people who don't fight, George Groves is amazing because he can do things that most people can't dream of doing. Me as an elite level fighter, I don't see anything that George does that that impresses me, that worries me, that has me thinking, okay, I need to watch out for that. Yes, he can hit hard. I've fought people that can hit hard before it. He has experience. That is probably the one thing that he has over me coming into this fight is more of an experience in these high-level fights. But I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm ready. This is my time.
And you're arguably fresher. Well, inarguably, actually.
We're only a year apart, but yes, I believe I am the fresher fighter. I believe that he has had fights which have taken some of the sauce out of him. I haven't been in those fights. I haven't had a fighter knock me out. I haven't been definitively beaten by any fighter. So yes, I believe I am the fresher man coming into this match.
We've just come off 2 great WBSS semi-finals, action-packed fights in the cruiserweight division. Do you feel any sort of, not so much pressure, but would you like to live up to that standard of entertainment in the Groves fight? And is it a possibility that one of you, in your case you, I'm sure you would say, will be so dominant that that won't be the case?
You know, I can't really focus on other fights. What me and George are going to bring to the table is going to be epic. That's all I know.
Who's going to win the other semi-final? I know you said you can't focus on other fights, but that will be your final opponent should you go through. Have you got a pick there between Braehmer and Smith?
I don't have. I haven't really seen much of Braehmer, and I've only watched about 2 fights from Callum. His last fight and a fight he had a couple of years back. So I'm not really in the best position to comment on that. But in terms of who I'd want to win, Callum. You know, being a Brit, being proud of my country and representing Britain, I would like to have an all-British showdown for the tournament. I've heard that it's going to be at the O2 now in May. That they've announced that May, June. So you know, if Callum can do his job and get through the fight, then that's going to be another epic fight to be had in Britain, which is great for British boxing.
And should all go to plan, Groves is vanquished, Callum Smith next. What's the future beyond the WBSS for Eubank Jr?
I mean, that's the great thing about boxing, especially British boxing at this moment in time. There's so many great fighters, up and coming fighters, world champions, you know, and worldwide even. It's the new golden era of boxing. There's so many mega fights for me to have out there that really it's just up to me to go out there and get these fights made. Who knows? Maybe maybe they're going to put a middleweight version of this tournament on next year, which I would say that I would try and do. You know, I can make middleweight, so that's another option as well in the future. But for right now, obviously, the focus is February 17th.
Are you actually a better middleweight than you are super middleweight? And if so, does that make this achievement, should you win the super middleweight tournament, even greater?
Well, I'm not a natural super middleweight. You know, I have to forcefully make super middleweight. So I guess technically I'm not a super middleweight. But I'm not going to say that I'm a better fighter at middleweight than I am at super middleweight because I'm campaigning at super middleweight. It really doesn't matter. You know, anybody in the super middleweight or the middleweight division with a belt, I'm coming for.
Just before we round off, I know you're eager to start training. Give us a final message for your opponent, George Groves.
Be ready, man. You know, let's give the fans what they've been dreaming about for the last 2-3 years. He says his training camp's gone great. He says he's in great shape. He says he's ready. He says he's going to knock me out early. You know, I hope that these are all statements that he really truly believes, because if so, it's going to make for a hell of a fight.